Hello, everyone. Welcome to Merle's Pearls of Business Wisdom, where myself, Merle M. Singer, the relationship miracle worker, talks about all things relationship and how they impact the workplace. Well, today I have a surprise for you, or a treat for you, should I say. I have a guest. Yay, guest.
Yay.
And this is, yay. And this is Nicole Gio, or Nicole Holley. I'm not even going to go for the long name. But I think, Nicole, you are an example of the issues women have with having success and career and then getting married and adding a name. And when do we add a name? And we end up with several names, but they're all
Right.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Nicole has over 10 years of experience in the industry, whatever that industry is. And she has expansive knowledge on online design, marketing, branding, and in a variety of industries, like from fitness to healthcare to food to fashion to entertainment. She also is a woman who lives in two different places. She lives in the States, she lives in Europe, and she has traveled extensively. She's married and has an adorable little child, that she's doing all of that. And what it does is it gives her a breadth of knowledge of people and of industries in different places. That, I think, is that if we're going to talk about marketing, I would say that's your unique selling point.
Thank you,
And
Merle.
but she did graduate with a bachelor's degree in marketing, and she has she's already in the midst of her career of doing inspiring websites. You can look up mine in case you want to check it out. relationshipmiracleworker.com. And if you want to listen to this, relationshipmiracleworker.com/podcast, and you'll see how well she did. Uh, and Nicole believes her key business differentiator is her approach, where she partners with the clients in the business process by working collaboratively. Well, I mean, all that's true, to refine the design and expand online presence, to a perfectly support the client's business mission. Well, welcome, Nicole. How are
Thank
you?
you, Merle. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
By the way, where are you?
I'm currently in Florence, Italy for the next
Sweet.
month or so. And then, well, next week I'll be in Copenhagen. So we'll see. Celebrating my birthday.
Uh, so that I really think that did your mother ever expect that that this would be your life as an adult?
I'm sure she wishes it wasn't. And then I would bring her granddaughter back to New York. But it's been over 12 years now, so I don't think that's happening.
No, I don't. I, I, so the mother in me says, wow, how could have I anticipated that my daughter, that my child would, you know, take a little different tact from what of going to school, and it's true, we do as parents like our kids to settle near us, but my kids are on the East Coast. Actually, we moved West Coast, and they just didn't come with us. So,
Yeah, we make it
so
work.
all of that's a,
Thank goodness for technology and FaceTime and the Zoom, so we can have, you can be in California and I can be in Florence and we can meet today.
that is such a gift. I mean that's when people say, "Oh, I don't like Zoom," I'm saying, "How can you not like Zoom? It's a miracle. It's a
Right?
miracle." I would have considered different things if I knew I had the ability to communicate from distances with people I cared about. And the fact that it's available to us today is, I think it's awesome, actually. But
Me too. I wouldn't
anyway,
have a business without it.
well, yeah, yeah, to be able to move around and still have create a career, have business, make money, and travel. Yeah, I think it's awesome. So you suggested, or I agreed, that we should talk about something that you're an expert in. And you came up with 5 things to do today. Do you mean today, Wednesday, or Thursday, or whatever day this is today?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think whenever
uh,
you have, I think it should be today, Wednesday, or today, whenever you're listening to this podcast. So
but it should be
it,
instantly. That's what you
yeah,
mean. Do it now.
as soon as you stop listening, listen to the whole thing, and then when you stop listening, you can do these things to amp up your business online. And they're things that anyone can do, whether they have an e-commerce store, or they're a motivational speaker, or they have a brick and mortar store and they're looking to reach more people online. So they're very simple, easy things that anyone can do. You don't need to have a technology background.
Okay, so what are they?
Okay, so I think the first number one thing that's so simple and people just forget about, they skip over this step, they get caught up in keywords and search engine optimization and looking at all of their analytics of their website. But what about um, skipping that for now and just simply Googling yourself, right? What do you see when you Google yourself? And kind of look at that first page on Google. Is your website on top? If it's not, why not? It should definitely be number one when you Google yourself. Um, what's underneath it? Is it your Amazon page from the book you wrote? Is it your Yelp page? What are you seeing underneath it? And everything that shows up on that first page, click on those links. Is the information there complete? Are you sending your potential customers to the right places? Is your phone number up to date? These are very simple things that a lot of the time people are saying, I'm not getting the people that they want to their website or picking up the phone to give them a call. And these are things that are overlooked. Very, very simple. Make sure those profiles are completed. And if your Facebook is showing up, you can update your Facebook profile to make sure it has all of your services listed, a complete bio, a complete description. We're spending a lot of time on social media, and your social media profile needs to tell people what you do and what you can offer them, not just have the content that you're putting out there on a daily basis. So yeah,
So,
number one thing I would say is Google yourself.
so my question then is, what do you what do you think about, like you said, make sure you have your phone there so that people can reach you. What do you think of having your personal, I mean, what phone number do you use that you allow to go out so publicly?
Yeah, I mean, if you're an
Voice.
individual, I would definitely recommend setting up a Google Voice number. You can pick any area code in the world, and have that be your business number, um, or in the US. And you can even put that number on your website, that number on all of your online directories, that number on your business card, and you can easily turn it on or off. And your voicemail goes to a different section. The text messages that you receive to that number goes to a different section of your phone. So you can really keep business and personal separate, which is really, really hard to do when you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur and you're, trying to get new clients. So, um, yeah, a Google voice number is a great thing it's free, that anyone can set up and use. The great part about it also is it still works if you're abroad. It does need
Good.
to link to a US phone number. So if you're already abroad and don't have a US phone number, then you'd have to find an alternative option. And there are a few out there.
That's very interesting. So, do you use a Google phone number?
Yep, the number on my website, my business cards, are my Google Voice number. I still have a US number, which is different, and yeah, my family uses that number, but most of my clients don't even have it. They don't need it because they can always reach me on the other number.
Okay. Well, maybe I should do that.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
interesting. Okay, so
I think we're gonna have some work to do
one
after
thing to
this
learn.
call, Merle.
We're gonna have oh my gosh, you're gonna you're right. Because we're gonna do your 5 steps. I
Right.
like it. Okay. So Google yourself is number one. So what's number two?
Number two
What
is, yeah, show up where your audience is. So those online directories that I mentioned, that you're going to see in your search results, um, uh, make sure that you fill out all of them and they're all have the correct information. So Google My Business is a big one. If you Google yourself and the right side of your screen is blank and your business doesn't come up on the right side of the screen, that means you don't have your Google My Business profile set up. And you should absolutely get one set up immediately, because that is a huge directory that if somebody uses Google Maps or is searching in Google to find you, that's the first thing that people see before they click any links. That's the sneak preview of who you are and what your business is. It has not only your contact information, but also photos, reviews. So at that moment, they get to decide if they even want to go to your website. Your Google My Business profile allows people to post their own photos of your business. So if somebody saw you speak, for example, Merle, they could post some of their own photos along with a review um, to your profile. And so Google My Business is the number one online directory that everybody should have set up. But there's a tons of other ones also. If you are a brick and mortar company, you can set up on Yelp, on Bing. If you are a speaker, there's lots of different specific directories for speakers, that you know about, Merle. But all of those, everywhere you're showing up is a new place for somebody to find you and a new way for you to point them to your website, and essentially to your services. So the more places that you show up, the better. And these are free most of them are free, and you just have to complete it and get it set up to the best of your ability.
Yes, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's the number one tip. If you don't have a Google My Business page, I would pause this right now and go and get one set up. It only takes a few minutes, and it really will open a whole new world for people to find you when they're searching for your services.
Do I have a Google My Business set up?
You do, yes. And, and it's a great
And I
place.
didn't look.
It's a great place for people to leave reviews. And that kind of leads into the third tip, of having a proactive review strategy. So you need to have the platforms for people to leave you a review, right? So if you have your book, you have your Amazon profile, and people can leave you reviews there. But also they could leave reviews for you on Google My Business and Facebook and other places. So it's great to have those platforms set up, but you also want to have a strategy set up in place that allows you to get reviews. And if you don't have, let's use the book example, if you don't have 50 reviews on your book, then I would challenge you to go out there and do everything that you can to get those 50 reviews. So that would
Now,
be
what
the
could
thing
you
that you
do?
could do today. I would go back and send out 5 books to friends, and ask them to read it and give you an honest review. I would, if you know a friend or customers who have a copy of your book, or clients who have copies of your book, then email them and ask them to leave a review for you. You can absolutely ask people to leave you reviews. You can't you can't give the review in exchange for something.
You can't pay him for it, right? But you
Right.
could
You can't
ask
ask
them.
them to give you a 5-star review, but you can certainly ask them to give
Oh,
you a review. You would hope that they
uh,
would, but but yeah, you need to have reviews in order for Amazon to kind of take your profile seriously. So if you want to be showing up in a certain category, then the more reviews you have, the better. There's Goodreads. You can sign up and have a profile on Goodreads if you're an author, and you can have a free giveaway in exchange for reviews. There's lots of different ways to ask for reviews. But also, if you're getting reviews for services, I would have a system in place. So every single time you finished a service with a client or customer, and they give you positive feedback verbally, then you should have a script set up in place, where you automatically respond to them and verbally ask for the review also. And then why not 2 days later, if you still haven't received the review, send them an email. So the strategy behind getting the review is key, because to be honest, you don't want 50 reviews coming in today. You would want them spread out over time. But you can email one person today. You can email 5 people today who who have used your services or read your book, and ask them to give you a review. Because how often do we go and look up a service and need to see the reviews first and get the opinions, and read the testimonials?
I do. Like for a doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. thank goodness that they're out there, and you know, their patients are giving honest reviews.
Yes. Yeah.
All
Yes.
doctors should
Yes.
all doctors should have on online profiles and be able to, you know, have complete information. How many times have we clicked a link to call a doctor and it's not a working number, or clicked a link and it doesn't bring you back to their website?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, there's no question that what you need to be up to date. It's just like when you drive a car, you make sure that there's gas in it. You make sure that you get a periodic checkup, and you need to do that with your online. I'm not even talking, well, online services, your online showing, your online
Yeah, your online presence, absolutely.
presence, right? Your online presence, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
So,
who you are. You need to check on it, because if you don't know that there's a negative review out there, and that's a disservice to you know, your, if there is a negative review, that's an opportunity. You get to respond to that. You get to show other people reading that, you know, what happened, tell your side of the story. And if you don't know it exists, then, you know, it's a mistake.
I see lots of negative reviews not answered. But on
Right,
the other, but I do read negative reviews, and sometimes I think that I it doesn't affect the way I feel about that person,
right.
because they're just whatever. They have their own issues.
There's also, yeah, I read the negative reviews, and then I read the business's response to the negative review, and that sits worse sometimes, their response. So you have to be careful the way you respond.
Exactly, exactly. So if you don't respond, maybe that's okay. Okay, so
Right.
you're right. Be proactive, have a proactive strategy about getting reviews.
And if you don't have one set up and you think you have a lot of reviews, imagine how many reviews you could have if you had a strategy in place. So after every single time you had a customer or a client that was happy and you knew about it and they're not leaving you a review, you know, that's a missed opportunity. So without the strategy in place, you're really only getting word of mouth reviews. You're getting the reviews from the people who are thinking about these things, that they want to help somebody else, you know, because
Right,
they had a great experience. But not everybody thinks like that.
right, right. You're right. Okay, what else do we have to do?
This one's for you, Merle.
Well,
This
let's
is
wait. First, let's review. You said uh, we should Google ourselves.
Google yourself
And
and your competitors. I didn't mention that, but that's a really big one. That yeah, Google your competitors, see what directories they're showing up on, and what, and you could make a profile there also. And the second one is show up where your audience is. So if your
I
audience,
yeah,
it yeah, if your audience is only on LinkedIn and not on Facebook, then don't spend so much time on Facebook. You have to know who your audience is and where they are. And the third one that we talked about is to have a proactive review strategy.
right, right. So that's three. We have two more to go.
Two more to go. I think the fourth one is, yeah, is really important. It's simple. It's to engage, and this is where you bring some humanity into the online world. You add some personality to the online world. So it's, you know, engage, build a relationship, right? how important are our in-person relationships? How important are online relationships? So by asking for a review, you're actually building a deeper relationship with a person. They're doing something for you, and now they're going to remember that. They're going to think about, how was that experience? Oh, it was really good. And they're going to write it out. So now they're thinking about it, writing about it. They're going to remember you. So the next time they need one of your services, they're going to come back to you. So yeah, and engaging not only by asking for reviews, but also responding to comments on social media, by developing deeper relationships with people online. You can do that through a monthly newsletter. You can do that through a podcast. You can do that so many different ways. But I would say the one thing that you could do today to engage is if you catch yourself scrolling on the phone, which we do so many times throughout the day, and just stop yourself in that moment and go to a Facebook group that is relevant to your business, and leave a comment as your business, or as as your personal account, and talk about your business, or talk about a struggle, or respond to something that you can bring back to your business. The more you engage on social media, and the more that you're like seen as an expert on a specific topic on social media, the more people are going to click on that comment, click on your profile, and it will ultimately lead them back to you. And I think that is really powerful, that people miss. They're so, we're so caught up in content and creating new and exciting things that we forget to stop and respond and create new conversations off of our profiles and put them on other people's profiles to kind of reach those audiences.
So what do you mean put them on other people's profiles? You mean I
Yeah,
can go?
so yes, if somebody's talking about for your business, Merle, if somebody's talking about a relationship topic on a different post or on a different podcast, you can absolutely comment and give your opinion about what they're posting as the relationship miracle worker.
Like in the comments.
Right, yes.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
And
it's hard, however, not to get like caught up into what everybody else is saying. I
yeah, it
mean,
is.
you, you have to have a tremendous amount of focus and discipline. And when you're reading, say, okay, what can I say about this? And if it's just interesting to read. I don't want to say anything, then move on until there's something that you can relate to and respond to. I
Right.
happen to be a rat, and I just bounce around.
Bounce from hole to hole.
But I'm working on it. All right. So, okay. So we got four. We
Four.
got
Okay.
yourself and, oh God. We have Google yourself, show up to your audience, show up where your audience is. Did we discuss how we know where our audience is?
I mean, you have to know who your audience is. It just varies so much based on the business.
So how do you figure that out? How do you find out
Yeah,
where?
I mean, if you're a B2B, if your business, if you're a B2B company, yeah, focus all of your attention on LinkedIn, right? If you're looking for individuals, then they're more on Facebook and Instagram. I would absolutely say focus on one don't worry so much about the others, and build up one social platform before you move on to the next, because they're not all created equal, and we can't be posting the same thing across the board for everyone. Something that you post on LinkedIn is just not going to be received the same way on other platforms.
Okay, I think that's good advice.
Test them out. If one's not working for you, maybe it's time to switch. Maybe your audience isn't there.
So how will you know?
Are people commenting? Are people engaged? Are you reaching? Are you having conversations? Are you finding people who are interested? I think your numbers and your analytics in that case will give you your answer.
That's a whole other topic.
That might be a whole nother topic for another time.
So Google, show up where your audience is, set up a strategy, a proactive strategy for getting reviews. That's, I think, good advice. Just engage, let people know you're online somewhere so that they see you and realize, oh yeah, yeah, oh, as a matter of fact, I have to tell you, um, I was online in a listening to a speech, NSA, the National Speakers Association, and we just everybody introduced each other. So I introduced myself as Merle. I'm seeing the relationship miracle worker, and somebody called me after that event and said, "Oh yeah, I was listening to your introduction," and she started talking to me about her uh, dating situation.
Very nice. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Why
So
not repeat that,
you're right.
online, multiple places? Those conversations that we're having in person, or, in Zoom meetings, you can absolutely replicate on social media.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, so we have just one more thing to talk about that we're going to do today.
Yes. So the last simple thing that you can do today is grow a qualified email list. So your email list, these are, once you have it set up in place to make it easy for people to sign up, there's not much you need to do to continue to build it. So if you have a free gift that you can offer, have it set up on your website, and people can get the free gift, and you can add their email address to your mailing list. And if you get that set up today, then you can just watch your email list grow. And it's pretty amazing once you have a qualified email list, the engagement that can come from it. Especially if you're regularly putting out a monthly newsletter that has content that audience is interested in. So yeah, different ways that you can set up your free gift. Or Merle, what do you offer as your free gift?
I forget.
Oh no. Okay, we're definitely going to look at this together offline. You have to have a great free
But
gift that your specific
I think you have to
audience would want.
I think you have to update it probably too.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We'll check. All right. Well, so, give me your summary of what will inspire us entrepreneurs to use online as a way of marketing ourselves to get ourselves out there.
I would just say that when somebody having a strong online presence is so powerful. It takes away a lot of you know your worry, your work. So uh, having a way that people can easily find you um, is it will change your business, especially like a brick and mortar company. I think to take advantage of a lot of these tools, people forget and are so focused on word of mouth, like, oh, my business has always grown through word of mouth. Why not take those same things that you've been doing offline and move them online? And if you don't want, more customers or new clients, then don't do these tips. But if you do, then I think I think it's a good thing to
So, and
start
I think,
today.
what I would add is that, and if it's not some, I think a lot of, when you're talking about brick and mortar, I think a lot of brick and mortar people are comfortable with live interactions, and they're not savvy on the computer, and therefore they are held back from that.
Right.
So if that's the case, then employ somebody, get somebody who will work with you, who is comfortable with computers and with those concepts, and yet can listen to you and get you the clients that you want, uh, and can work with you in a way that you're comfortable. And just in case that's what you're looking for, I would recommend Nicole Nicole Holley,
Thank
because
you,
she's a
Merle.
perfect
Yeah.
example. I think that's important for people to know. So that's my closing comments, and I just want to say now, thank you, everybody, for listening to Merle's Pearls of Business Wisdom with me, your host, Merle M. Singer, the Relationship Miracle Worker. And you can find this episode, and please look for it at relationshipmiracleworker.com/podcast, and notice the fabulous website while you're there. As well as, hey, go on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music and all of your other favorite podcast platforms, and you will find Merle. What is it? Merle's Pearls Business Wisdom Podcast, and you'll find all the editions. So until next time, bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Merle.